Welcome to your Dave Campbell Texas Football Magazine Power Plays of the Week. A huge matchup here at McLean Stadium as the second-ranked team in the state, DeSoto Eagles, battled the sixth-ranked team in the state, the Cibolo Steele Knights out of San Antonio. Great matchup on paper, and you know what? There were some fantastic plays as well. Let's roll the highlights.
Two receivers to either side, and Nelson is going to throw. Swings it out of the backfield for Nixon. He'll have the first down to the 20. Still on his feet, inside the 15 to the 10. He tight ropes his sideline to the end zone for a touchdown. How did he stay in bounds? Larry Nixon from 32 yards away extends it to a 28-12 lead.
I was watching Larry's footwork down that sideline, and he stayed in bounds somehow. Wow, DeSoto, so many weapons, and on a 4th and 2 call, great call with that little swing pass. No one picks up Nixon coming out of the backfield, and Jalen Nelson immediately sees that, gets the ball out to him. Watch the footwork right here. Stays in bounds. Wow, that was tight on that one left foot, but I think he's in. Here's another replay. First of all, securing the ball, looking downfield, getting some blocks.
Broke through the tackle of Anthony Johnson.
Good.
Yep. He
Wow.
did it.
Nice job, cameraman. Hey, speaking of big plays, let's go to Galena Park ISD Stadium where North Shore was hosting Euless Trinity in a battle of traditional Texas powerhouses. North Shore's Micah Long decides to keep the ball on this play. Look at him go, pulling the pile forward. Don't try to strip the ball away from Long. He is too strong. North Shore took the early lead thanks in part to a reverse, not to mention a great touchdown run by Darius Mouton. Watch number 28 go. Long goes a long way in impressing the fans at this game with this play as he remains calm under pressure despite the bad snap. Here he connects with Isaiah Barnes for a touchdown and a 15-14 lead. But in the end, Trinity remained unbeaten as Trojans quarterback Tyler Natey would have the last laugh with some nifty runs. Trinity tops North Shore 29-21. The Westlake Chaparrals tearing through the sign that reads "Laugh Out Loud" with the Maroons mascot in the middle as they enter House Park Stadium. Westlake kicking off here, and check out number 45, Sam Stanka, who is Johnny on the spot with the recovery. He rumbles for good yardage as the Chaps would score early and often in this one. Sam Ellinger with a big day at quarterback for Westlake with 248 yards passing and 96 on the ground. Westlake improves to 3-1 with only a 3-point loss to Southlake Carroll as a blemish. 63-12 your final as the Chaps improve to 2-0 in District 14-6A. Down in the Houston area, Pearland hosting Pasadena at the Rig. Busted plays are often the hardest to stop. Check out Jacoby Butler with the grab. He finds a seam and is off to the races for a touchdown. Pearland quarterback Jake Blumrick had a great game in this 69-0 win for the Oilers. When the pocket breaks down, quarterbacks have to be able to move around, and that's how you do it, Jake. Touchdown, Pearland. They are seeking another Jerry World presentation this year.
But you know what? They ain't played the Falcons yet.
A battle of unbeatens brings us to another power play of the week as Marshall's Kendall Sheffield was recently named the Gatorade Texas Boys Track and Field Athlete of the Year. Sheffield won state titles in the 110 and 300-meter hurdles in Austin. He's the leader of the herd as they were battling Richmond Foster. Isaiah Adams with the interception at the Foster 40, and watch him go, weaving in and out until he finds the end zone. Marshall up 7-0. Their lead, though, was short-lived. Richmond Foster got it cranking up on both sides of the ball. Falcons go on to win at 43-14 to improve to 4-0 over the 3-1 Marshall Thundering Herd. To Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park, where undefeated Vista Ridge was hosting Marble Falls, Ranger QB Matthew Snow had a nifty 40-yard touchdown run to go with 152 yards rushing on 13 carries and 193 through the air. Vista Ridge scored on 4 of their first 5 possessions, amassing 284 yards of total offense in the first quarter alone. The Rangers are loaded at tailback this year with Jeremiah Chambers and Delonte Singleton. Here's something you don't see very often, though. Marble Falls kicking off from the 15-yard line of Vista Ridge to open the third quarter. The onside kick goes to the Rangers, though. Vista Ridge pulled away in the second half, 49-21. Next up, Eastview up in Georgetown in a battle of unbeatens. The other team that calls Gupton Stadium home, Cedar Park, was on the road at Dripping Springs to play the Tigers. Joe McBride had his Tigers pouncing on every opportunity, especially after coming off losses to Austin High and Bastrop. Cedar Park did not have an answer for Joe Fex, who rushed for 192 yards as the Tigers win their District 25 5A opener. The drip-dry defense forced 4 first-half punts by Cedar Park as the Timberwolves only managed 2 first downs before the break. Turnovers and penalties did in Cedar Park in the second half. 23-0 your final, Dripping Springs upsetting Cedar Park. Speaking of upsets, undefeated Vandergrift battled unbeaten Eastview. Travis Brannon had 3 touchdowns by halftime as things looked good for the Vipers, up 28-14 at the break. But the Patriots of Eastview would not go away, chipping at the Vandergrift lead. Georgetown Eastview had to make a goal line stand, stopping Vandergrift on a 2-point conversion to win it 42-41. Brannon was held out of the end zone at the most crucial point of the game. Eastview and Vista Ridge battle next week in another unbeaten showdown in District 25 5A. The Bastrop Bears came up short against LBJ in the district opener for both teams. The Jaguars, loaded with talent, once again used a 27-point third quarter to beat Bastrop 41-22. To the Waco area, where Hewitt Midway was hosting Duncanville out of the DFW Metroplex, Panthers quarterback number 8, Ben Hicks, hooks up with number 2, DeAndre Strickland. Terry Garnville's Midway Panthers win 42-36 to improve to 4-0 with non-district wins over Lake Travis and now Duncanville, to name a few. Parker Heights is next for Midway. Argyle vying for the top spot in the state, playing the Graham Steers. The Eagles of Argyle are the defending champions for a reason. They are great again this year, but had their hands full with the Steers. Despite being tied at 14 at intermission, in the end it was Argyle winning it 35-27 as Nick Ralston had 192 yards on 46 carries and 4 TDs. Nick Martin had 3 touchdowns on 120 yards rushing on 17 carries in a losing cause for Graham. Big rivalry in Southeast Texas as Wharton battled El Campo. Have you seen El Campo's Kevin Dove? Yeah, that running back can run. He is a man amongst boys more often than not, just running through people as Dove would not be denied. The TD puts the Ricebirds up 10-7 early in the second quarter. BJ Baylor had other ideas though. Watch number 33 make some huge plays on both the ground and through the air. The Wharton back shedding tacklers and finding the end zone more often than not. Wharton wins it 28-24 to improve to 3-1 and 2-0 in district, handing the Ricebirds their first loss this season. Crosby facing Humble in a Houston area matchup. Let's listen in, huh?
If you get down, or you lay down. If you lay down, you gon' stay down. If you get down, or you lay down. It's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, win.
Crosby with the ball. Check out the pressure by Isaiah Longino, wreaking havoc for Humble. Here's why the tip drill works. Number 10, Joshua Bell of Humble. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Nice play. Someone from Humble came up with it. The Wildcats in business. But on 4th and short, Humble cannot connect on this play as Crosby takes over on downs. Crosby would go on to win this defensive struggle, 17-10. Unbeaten Victoria West taking on undefeated and state-ranked Flower Bluff. Hornets quarterback Cody Brewer goes deep on the first play and finds Aaron Dilworth for a 59-yard touchdown pass play. Wow, these two would combine for the next score as well, a 15-yard strike. It was 15-0 Bluff. Next drive, Brewer connects with Kevin DeWitt for a 52-yard touchdown pass play. Jamarcus Gurdy kept Victoria West hanging around, though, with a pair of TDs to cut it to 30-15 at the break. But it was the Bluff that would remain unbeaten in District 35A and overall, for that matter, escaping with a 44-36 win. Port Lavaca Calhoun used the strong ground game to squeak by Cuero 21-17. The Sand Crabs had 236 yards rushing, thanks in part to Raheem Jones with 78 and Mark Camacho with 76, plus J.C. Garcia with 59 yards rushing. Now that's some balance. Harlingen hosting Weslaco down in the Rio Grande Valley. On the kickoff, Cardinals with a return. A little hiccup with a fumble, but Dominic Freeman in the right place at the right time. He'll take it the distance. Harlingen won it 30-29. Same game, here's a highlight from the Weslaco Panthers. Eric Gonzalez takes the pitch and he's off to the races. A 40-yard dash to the promised land, but the Panthers came up short in this one. Next up, it's the state's only SaberCats in the spotlight. The Vela SaberCats dialing up a nice play here as Eber Lopez hits Eddie Luna, and this would be a 67-yard touchdown. Edinburgh's newest program out to a 4-0 start this season. What about the Alamo City? My sweet San Antonio looking good on a Friday night of football. Let's listen in.
Hello, sweet San Antonio. Watch out, I'm coming your way.
Harlandale's Jacob Delgado is going up top for one of his favorite targets, John O'Gary, and the Indians of Harlandale were on their way against Brack, leading 21-0 at the break. But hold everything. Here comes the soaring Eagles of Brackenridge. Trey Mathis got some help from his blockers, and he's gone. 52 yards, game tied. Brack quarterback Antonio Lopez calls his own number here and would use his stiff arm to score an apparent go-ahead touchdown, but a penalty flag nullified the play. The Eagles settled for a field goal and went on to work on defense. Wow, the sack in the final seconds iced it as Brackenridge, improving to 2-0 in District 28-5A, rallying with 24 unanswered points to humble Harlandale by 3 points. To the Hill Country for a Class 3A Division II showdown between number 9 Blanco and San Antonio Christian, a.k.a. Sachs. Blanco star running back Colton Elrod is a stud. Here he is warming up. But it's Logan Dodd who scored the first touchdown for the Panthers as Blanco led 7-0. Now to the final play of the first half as Sachs QB Andrew Hawkins equalizes it with a 1-yard TD pass to Mason Lawrence. Let's cut to the chase. Fourth quarter now 14-all, just over 2 minutes remaining, and Ryan Ronces scores to give the Panthers a 20-14 lead, but the extra point was no good. It wouldn't matter though. The Panthers defense stepped up big on the ensuing possession by Sachs. Andrew Hawkins is sacked by James Rodriguez. Ball game, Blanco wins it 20-14 to improve to 4-0. That concludes our Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine Power Plays of the Week. Catch us next week for Week 5 action. I'm Jeff Power.